Well, as we approach Memorial Day, we wanted you to meet a Bay Area man who has dedicated his entire life to collecting and preserving war memorabilia, especially medals. But sadly, some have weighed heavily on his heart once he learned not everybody cared about him like he does. Well, all it took was one special connection that we helped make to restore his patriotic faith. A step into Bob Hagarty's home is a step back in time. Every corner of every room, uniforms, munitions, and medals. Memories of a war often ignored.
When I was young, I met a lot of World War I veterans. And they had to be probably the most patriotic people I've ever come across.
A child of a vet, Bob practically grew up in VFWs, with weekly trips to the cemetery with his dad to honor the fallen.
I remember putting the flag in and watching these veterans, and they would stand back from the grave and salute. And I think in fact, today it affects me.
So his patriotic fire was easy to light. It happened when he was 10. His dad gave him these two decorative buttons off of his uniform. Born was a new passion and purpose.
That's all medals.
At 87, his medal collection now nears 10,000. They're like his children. So he was especially offended when he tried returning a set to a soldier's family that he had tracked down a few years ago, only to have that door slammed in his face.
She said that as a little girl she remembered him, but she said, I really have no interest whatsoever. Basically, I think the actual words were, I don't give a damn.
Bob says that's the last medal he tried returning. But I was determined to show him there are others out there who still care.
Sure.
He randomly pulled out 5 sets. With only their names and companies, we went to work. Possible relatives? None found. It's the same address, but it actually has a different name. Is your grandfather, by chance, Dick Hamstra, born in 1898? Finally, a connection. That first set of medals randomly pulled with the Croix de Guerre medal right there in the middle, it was awarded for acts of heroism to those who served in France.
And if it has a star on it, that means they won it twice.
Well, it took a few days, but I found his grandson, Jim, who lives in Indianapolis. And he sent me a photo of his granddad wearing that very medal. He was just blown over with emotion because he literally sat there and told me on the phone, they've been looking for this medal for 40, almost 50 years. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
This was the picture of his grandfather.
Right.
With that medal on him.
Yeah. It's great that you have a picture of him and, you know, after all these years.
So we connected them.
There he is.
Hi, Jim. How you doing?
Hi, Bob.
How are you?
Good to see you. I had been looking for that medal. Apparently, they went missing after my grandmother died in 1966. So how it got from there to you, I do not know.
He spent the best part of his life really preserving all this incredible history, that not only for himself, but for people like you and the family members of all these heroes from back then.
I'm glad you did it.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad people like you I got to meet, and that changes everything for me.
I'll probably drive my wife nuts, but I probably want to pay you a visit.
Yeah, that'd be great. All right.
Yeah.
I have cold beer.
So 2 cold ones now await them. A reunion nearly 60 years in the making that all started with a boy and his buttons. So special he is. Now, we did make 2 other connections as well, a man and a woman who'd both also been looking for their grandfather's medals. One of them, ironically, used to live in Tampa, been living here for about 50 years, doesn't live here now.
Wow.
But we were connecting both of them with Bob, but special indeed.
I'm so happy that you were able to track him down, because you could almost see in Bob's face how happy he was that there was somebody who really cared and wanted to be reunited with it.
It was pretty neat, and he was, and
so
he wanted
sweet.
to make sure that they're going to go to somebody who really cares for him, because, like you said, he treats them like his children.
Amazing.
Yep.
Great
Yep.
story.
Yeah.